vehemently criticized it at the time. Vehemently. They even likened it to a bank robbery. And the leader of that party, Andrew Holness, who is now the Prime Minister, said he would never let that happen. He said he would ring-fence the National Housing Trust to prevent its resources from being taken by the government. And he committed to reversing it should he become Prime Minister. Well, he became Prime Minister in 2016, and they have proceeded to amend the law twice to extend it by a further 8 years. And in the throne speech last month, them said they're going to take it for 5 more years again.
Hey guys, once again, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please like, share and subscribe for more content. Did Andrew Holness once call this a bank robbery? So how is it that $100 billion has just been taken from the NHT under his own government? Tonight, Mike Golding is calling it out, and what he revealed has Jamaicans asking serious questions.
Madam Speaker, I want to say a little bit about the draining of the National Housing Trust. This year, we celebrate the 50th anniversary of the establishment of the National Housing Trust. It was and is a transformational institutional innovation of the late great Prime Minister Michael Joshua Mann. Sadly, the budget for the coming fiscal year 26-27 again includes non-tax revenue of 11.4 billion Jamaican dollars in the form of a transfer of resources out of the National Housing Trust to the government's coffers to pay its housekeeping expenses. We must recall that this was originally introduced in 2013 as a temporary 4-year measure ending in 2017. It was written into the law as a 4-year measure. It was necessary at that time because we were at the height of Jamaica's debt crisis, when Jamaica was required to achieve primary surplus targets of 7.5% of GDP each year to turn the economy onto a path of debt 60% where it is now. Sustainability. Remember at that time the debt was not at 140%, not 60% where it is now. And that was necessary. And it achieved that, and I must tell you, I was in cabinet at the time. We were all very concerned about it. An international accounting firm, independent firm, confirmed to us in writing at the time that the removal of the 11.4 billion per year for 4 years would not undermine the operating performance of the National Housing Trust because of the surpluses it had and the pace at which it was rolling out investment. That is the only base upon which we were prepared to move with it. 4 years and 4 years only. It achieved the objective, and Jamaica was able to discontinue the borrowing relationship with the IMF in 2017 at the end of our program. Despite those circumstances, the then opposition vehemently criticized it at the time. Vehemently. They even likened it to a bank robbery. And the leader of that party, Andrew Holness, who is now the Prime Minister, said he would never let that happen. He said he would ring-fence the National Housing Trust to prevent its resources from being taken by the government. And he committed to reversing it should he become Prime Minister. Well, he became Prime Minister in 2016, and they have proceeded to amend the law twice to extend it by a further 8 years. And in the throne speech last month, them said they're going to take it for 5 more years again. Oh my God, his words were utterly false. Utterly false. Under his watch, as Minister with responsibility for NHT, because NHT falls under him, this government has passed legislation twice to extend that extraction of resources each year for 10 years while they've been in office. In fact, since they came to power in 2016, they have withdrawn $114 billion from the NHT as non-tax revenue. And this continued over that period, despite Jamaica needing to increase the construction of affordable houses by 15,000 per year to satisfy the unmet demand. And despite Jamaica having left the IMF borrowing program in 2017, they have no excuse for it. Now the government, as I've said in the throne speech, has announced that it's going to extend this again for 5 more years. That means that they're going to reduce the financial base of the NHT by a further $57 billion over the next 5 years. At a time when Jamaica's housing stock in western parishes has been decimated by Melissa, these resources should be deployed by the NHT be used to rebuild resilient homes for the many thousands of households who have suffered varying degrees of damage to the houses. Many of them are NHT subscribers. This is not the time to be drawing the money out of NHT to balance the government's fiscal accounts. With a mere $30 billion, less than 1% of GDP allocated in the budget towards Melissa recovery expenditure in the coming fiscal year, the NHT should be empowered and mandated to play a much greater part in restoring resilience.
So, after hearing all this, what do you think? Is this smart economic management or straight up hypocrisy? Drop your thought in the comment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because this conversation is far from over.